This is TTT. Live for local.
Good morning. This is your TTT News Update. I'm Carrie Roberts. Making the news at this time. Trinidad and Tobago is running unopposed for the Latin American and Caribbean Group's single seat on the United Nations Security Council for the upcoming two-year term. Minister of Foreign and CARICOM Affairs, Sean Sobers, said this country is lobbying to secure that non-permanent seat. Countries must still secure a two-thirds majority vote from the General Assembly to be elected to the non-permanent seats to the United Nations Security Council. Minister Sobers indicated that Trinidad and Tobago is committed to securing the votes needed to win the seat.
Focus in terms of what we want to bring to the United Nations Security Council, because it is one of the most powerful organs of the United Nations. So sitting there as a non-permanent 5-member, apart from being just part of the room and part of the conversation, you actually have the ability to chair the UNSC at least 2 times within your term.
For the 2027 term, the allocated regional seats are for the Asia-Pacific Group, the African Group, and the Latin American Caribbean Group. 1 seat each and 2 seats for the Western Europe and Others Group.
Apart from the support that we have from GRULAC, which is the Latin America and Caribbean, and the support from CARICOM, we've been going out to touch other partners around the world to ensure that we get their support. And they've been interested in finding out, well, what do you intend to do if you become a non-permanent 5-member? We focus on a mandate that the Prime Minister has given us, which is to focus on what affects Trinidad and Tobago first, and the wider Caribbean, and the rest of the world.
Minister Sobers said that TNT will be examining issues related to women, peace and security, and the movement of small arms, which is very problematic in the Southern Caribbean. And an investigation will be launched into the acquisition and operations of Amplia Communications Limited, a subsidiary of state-owned TSTT. Responding to questions to the media on Thursday, Minister of Public Utilities Barry Padarath said discussions with TSTT's management revealed that Amplia has been draining financial resources and duplicating existing operations. He added that inquiries into the state-owned company's 2017 acquisition of Amplia from Massey Communications Limited, when the UNC was in opposition, indicated that the government at the time was unaware of the circumstances surrounding the purchase.
Because Amplia continues to bleed us financially. There's a lot of duplication of efforts between Amplia and TSTT. I am advised that a company that was 1/10 or less thereof of the acquisition price that TSTT paid for Amplia was the value of Amplia at that time, and therefore questions have to be answered.
Amplia, then known as Massey Communications Limited, was acquired by TSTT in 2017 for over $200 million, which, according to Minister Padarath, was much more than the company's valuation.
Such a small value be acquired at such a large figure without any cabinet or ministerial approval. And therefore it tells me there's more in the mortar than the pestle. And therefore we will be launching an investigation in terms of how Amplia was acquired, the circumstances, the financing, and who made that decision to acquire Amplia, a company that continues to bleed and duplicate the efforts of the main company, which is TSTT.
In sport, the Trinidad and Tobago Powerlifting Federation has named a 5-member team set to compete at the IPF World Classic Open Powerlifting Championships in Lithuania, set to take place from June 13th to 21st. The event will see first-time appearances for the #1 ranked female powerlifter in TNT, Kezia Hunt, along with 4th ranked Desiree J. Allen. Also on the women's side, Zara Padilla, no stranger to the event, claiming first place in the 84-kilogram category last year, while winning 4 gold medals at the Pan American Championships. On the men's side, representing TNT will be World Classic Junior 120 kg champion Joseph McDonald and National Open champion Rondell Hunt. And that's what's making the news this morning. But joining us right now is Virmala Balkaran, the host of Trinidad and Tobago Today. Good morning, Virmala, and happy Friday.
Good morning, Carrie. Happy Friday to you.
We made it.
We made it. Actually, the week didn't feel that long. I'm
I
surprised
don't know,
I'm
like,
saying
it started
that.
to add up on me there between yesterday and today. I don't know what happened, but I am beat.
Yeah, I know. And the weekend is finally here, so I'm guessing you have a lot of work to do as well.
Yes, I do have a lot of work to do. Like, I feel like I work 7 days a week. Not necessarily in here, but
That's okay. It's a fulfilling life. Well, maybe if you have some pent-up anxiety or anything that you want to let out, it is World Scream Day. So
World Scream Day.
Yeah, a therapeutic solution. If you have any sorts of pent-up emotions, you're frustrated, all you have to do is scream and let it out. Of course, in a controlled environment where people don't think that something's wrong.
Yeah, so like in a pillow or something and just
Okay, I don't know if I would say a pillow, but maybe in the comfort of your bathroom in your house. And actually, Carrie, this started a long, long time ago because I believe in 1893, the scream was painted. So that's when it started, and up until 2018, then we had Mr. West talking about the fact that that was his primal therapy session. It included screaming.
You know what? Maybe I will give it a try. Maybe I'll just go in the middle of a forest somewhere where it's just me and nature, and just let out a good scream.
I don't know, because just in case there's other people around, I think that's going to be very scary for them.
Yeah, that's what I said. I'll go into the middle of a forest somewhere, somewhere remote, just by myself, and give a scream. I mean, if it happens to have a hiker and they, well, sorry, but
they might
therapy.
just join you as well. So it is therapy, and it just goes to show that everyone's dealing with something, and if you feel like letting it all out by screaming is the best way for you, well, by all means, please do that. I've done that in traffic a few times, but that's another story. Yeah.
You know what? I'll find out that story off air.
Yeah, Carrie, coming up inside the show today, we actually have a really, really dynamic second hour, something you don't want to miss. And we're going live from somewhere far.
From somewhere?
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm going to tell you all about that. You have to wait and see.
All right.
But inside this hour, something that's going to interest you is the National Trust. And we're talking about the importance of protecting our monuments and heritage sites. So I know you'll be interested in that.
I love the work that National Trust does. So I'm really looking forward to that segment in particular. And I guess whatever surprise you have brewing there, Virmala.
Yeah, so you'll just have to wait and find out. So we'll talk soon, Carrie. And we'll see another right here today.
Well, you know it is.
All right, Carrie. So we'll talk to you soon.
We will. Thank you so much, Virmala.
You're welcome.
When we come back, the Trinidad and Tobago Today morning show gets going after this break.
Every client deserves expertise, integrity, and guidance they can trust. At Camino Realty International, we deliver integrated real estate solutions, sales, rentals, property management, and project development. Driven by excellence, transparency, and innovation, we protect value, create opportunity, and build lasting success. Because real estate isn't just about buildings. For more information on our services, log on to CaminoRealty.com or follow us on social media at Camino Realty TT. Camino Realty International, elevating lives one property at a time.
Women are a quiet strength the world leans on, the hands that holds everything together, and the heart that keeps on giving, even when they're tired. And it's time for us to celebrate that. I'm Yashamani, your host of Majestic Makeover, the series which uplifts and transforms the lives of everyday women who've carried so much for so long. In this season, we're looking for women like these, women who have endured, women who survive, women who keep on going, no matter what. A woman who's lost a loved one and finds the strength to go on. A survivor of crime who refused to be broken. A woman over 70 who gives to her family and the community every single day. A survivor of serious illness who continues to live with hope and courage. A physically challenged woman living fully with dignity and determination. These are the stories we want to honor. Do you know her? Nominate her. Let's celebrate her. Send us 2 brief paragraphs which briefly states who she is, your relationship to her, and why she deserves this journey. As well, send us your contact information. Send it to majesticmakeover@tt@gmail.com. Because remember, every woman needs to feel majestic. Majestic Makeover Season 3, right here on TTT.
Hey, up for this exciting challenge and confident about your business? If you are, the 10-20 feature is just what you need. It's where you give your customers 10 reasons in 20 seconds why they should shop by you. This fun-filled feature will be captured, packaged, and aired on television and promoted on social media simultaneously. Small, medium, and large businesses call or WhatsApp 764-3378 or 313-4215. Let's feature your business. 10-20 with Junior K. It's affordable, effective, and fun.
Friday, 24th April 2026. The time now, it is 6:11 a.m. Good morning, Trinidad and Tobago and the world. Happy Friday. I'm Virmala Balkaran and welcome to Trinidad and Tobago Today. Well, you know the drill. Let's take a look now at what's trending this morning. Well, to some breaking news, the planned redirection of domestic passenger traffic to the international security checkpoints has been postponed until further notice. Passengers are advised that the event that was scheduled for this morning at 8 o'clock, that's today, Friday, April 24th, at the Piarco International Airport, will no longer take place as planned. And travelers are encouraged to await further updates regarding both the rescheduled event and the implementation of the new departure procedures. Caribbean Airlines apologizes for any inconvenience caused and thanks passengers for their continued operation. And also, the Tobago House of Assembly has secured an emergency court injunction granted on April 23rd, 2026 to protect the Bucco Reef Marine Park and the Pigeon Point Heritage Park. And the High Court order immediately halts all jet ski activity within both protected areas. It also prohibits the offering, solicitation, launching and operation of personal watercraft until further notice. Well, we spoke to Chief Secretary Farley Augustine ahead of Tobago House of Assembly's unanimous passage of a revised Marine Park bill yesterday, which is set to bring stricter rules and tougher penalties for jet ski operators. And this was prompted by the tragic death of 8-year-old Angelica Jogi and ongoing concerns over reckless activity. And he says that the THA will hire its own inspectors with powers to stop, search and arrest. The new law also introduces mandatory permits and enforces minimum speed limits within the park.
Because there comes a time, even in a democracy, when you cannot take the decision that is popular, but you have to take the decision to support the bills. Because there comes a time, even in a democracy, when you cannot take the decision that is popular, but you have to take the decision that is right. Think of a parent. Will you let your child go and play in fire and say, well, it's a democracy, let the child choose for themselves? Will you see your child going in imminent danger and say, that's fine, the child have a mind of their own, God created them with a mind to think for themselves? Or will you as a parent do all that is necessary to prevent that child from causing injury to himself or herself? I know as a responsible parent, that's what I will do. I will lay down the law. There is no democracy when it comes to safety. And as a responsible government, the actions we take today and the actions we will take over the next 2 to 3 weeks goes beyond being popular. And whether those in the area like the decisions or not, we are going to press ahead with those decisions. We have to save them from themselves.
And as the probe into the San Fernando Municipal Police Station incident intensifies following the killing of WPC Anushka Eversley, the state has ordered all municipal firearms into TTPS custody. The mandatory safekeeping directive centralizes weapons to address administrative gaps and facilitate a full audit, ensuring every firearm is accounted for and securely managed. And TTT Limited can confirm that ACP Wayne Meister is now in charge of the municipal police. He returns to the post after being sent on a year-long leave approximately 7 months ago. And we will be seeking an interview with ACP Meister to discuss his plans for the role. And also, the Ministry of Transport and Civil Aviation has officially launched a dedicated PBR hotline to crack down on reckless maxi taxi driving. So here's that number you can call. It's 625-1225, extension 10010 to 10012. We'll have that for you a little later on the show. We'll put it on the screen. Commuters can report speeding and dangerous maneuvers directly to the authorities. And this proactive move aims to boost accountability and ensure that the priority bus route remains a safe corridor for all citizens. Again, those numbers on the screen. And moving on now, while crime statistics point to a downward trend, recent cases continue to reflect the human impact of violent crime. 9-year-old Jelena Armstrong is tragically not the first child to be murdered in this country. Another young life snuffed out, leaving a void that no policy can fill. And TTT Limited reached out to a relative of Jelena who remembers her as a diamond, a child of immense wisdom and light who possessed a rare ability to comfort those around her, even at such a young age. Her death, described as a sudden and violent theft of a life just beginning, has not only taken a promising future, but has really changed the people who loved her most. As her family struggles with the cold reality of her absence and the haunting silence that she leaves behind, her memory remains a testament to a life that, though short, was defined by love, warmth, and an extraordinary spirit that made everyone she touched feel better. Now, taking a minute to reflect on this beautiful Friday morning. Sometimes with all of the bad news, or the constant rush to make it in life, everything that we're chasing, everything we're dealing with, we forget what really matters. At the end of the day, it's not just about what we achieve. It's about how we live. Live a life that you can be proud of, one rooted in sincerity. Make sure that your actions match your intentions and that your words reflect who you truly are. Take care of the people around you. Show up for them. Be present. Be real. And don't limit your kindness to those that you know. Be kind to strangers. Be kind with animals. Do good, even when no one is watching, because the truth is the world today needs more good than ever before. More compassion, more honesty, more people choosing to make a difference, however small that may seem. So today, please make an impact. Leave things better than you found them. And here in Trinidad and Tobago, if we all choose to live this way, sincerely, kindly, intentionally, then the good that we put out into the world will always find its way back. Well, we really do have a nice packed show for you today. As we said before, we chat with the National Trust in just a few to find out why we should be extra careful when interacting with heritage sites in our country. And this morning, we also have a very special treat for you coming from a distant place in Trinidad. So we'll talk about that a little later on. So you know what to do. Get that cup of coffee quick. Trinidad and Tobago Today has begun.
Every client deserves expertise, integrity, and guidance they can trust. At Camino Realty International, we deliver integrated real estate solutions, sales, rentals, property management, and project development. Driven by excellence, transparency, and innovation, we protect value, create opportunity, and build lasting success. Because real estate isn't just about buildings. For more information on our services, log on to CaminoRealty.com or follow us on social media at Camino Realty TT. Camino Realty International, elevating lives one property at a time.
One day I was out playing with my friend Kevin and he was really moody, kinda sad and angry at the same time. I asked him what was the matter. Someone in his family had been doing mean things to him. He said he had to keep it a secret. So I asked Kevin, is it a good secret or a bad secret? He said he didn't know. I explained good secrets are cool things like a surprise party or a gift for a special occasion. A bad secret is when someone hurts or harms you and tells you not to tell anyone. Sometimes they might give you little things to make sure you don't tell. That's another bad secret to keep. That's mean and controlling. Kevin said it definitely fell into the bad secret category. I felt this was something an adult should help with. Because as a child, when someone hurts you, you can feel really alone and afraid. And the best people to help you are the ones you love and really, really trust. I asked him if there was any adult that he trusted. So we worked up a little plan for Kevin to talk to one of them. A while after that, I could see my friend was doing much better. Now we tell all our pals about good secrets and bad secrets so that we can all feel brave, safe, and strong. Break the silence. Child abuse is one secret you should never keep.
Hi everyone, I'm Marissa Benin. Coming up, Jamaica, here we come. These women of vision are on a mission. Ride the waves and savor the flavor, otherwise known as spending quality time in Antigua and Barbuda. Fun times, plus the food that sets St. Kitts and Nevis apart, all available under one roof. Cue the entertainment and the food. It's Chinese Spring Festival time.
As we continue our coverage of the administration's first year, we bring you part 2 of our interview with Homeland Security Minister Roger Alexander. Well, this morning we examined the fallout from the San Fernando Municipal Police Station weapons heist and the large all-firearms order, alongside a $300 million modernization push, including drone patrols and a cybercrime task force, plus the minister's stance on school violence. Here's that for you now.
The bills that we found that amounted to over 300 million is what is putting the police service at a disadvantage in terms of its operations. However, they would have benefited from the refurbishment of vehicles. And as I said before, I gave them 56 vehicles to assist them in fighting crime. We also, I recall as a police officer, we went to the last government and said, listen, this issue of violence in schools, how do we treat that? We told them, listen, we recommend that the police officers be placed there, at least to offer some sort of prevention. Youth will see it and probably take a look at it and say, well, all right, we would not behave like this anymore. And it was rejected. This government saw it fit to change that, so we have the school-oriented police. There are a number of schools around Trinidad and Tobago, but it doesn't stop there. I am using PAXO, a unit, part of my institutions. They're in charge of the transit police. They are working with a number of stakeholders at this time. And some of the initiatives that we have is already the behaviors of young men in society. And what we are doing recently here, the parental symposium, and as of Wednesday, the 22nd, myself and the team, we are going to return to schools where we could have that interaction with the students. Because what we in this government have seen is that prevention of crime starts at home. And we need to stop making excuses for what the police did and what the prison did. And what. Treat your children home. Deal with them at home and then send them out into the public domain. Because I have learned many years ago, my mother told us that charity begins at home and ends abroad. And I say that every day. You know why? You know what that means? What you do home will be displayed onto the nation's streets. And if you grew up your children in the right way, with the right foundation and thing, you have no issues in the streets. You have no issues in school. You have no issues with crime. So we have to rewind the whole process and start from the beginning. And that is how we intend to approach this new term. So we are doing that as of the 22nd of April. We'll start at, I think it's El Lobrong in the Tunapuna district. All right? The prison service. Prison service, very challenging institution. Very, very challenging institution. But at the end of the day, you know, they have their challenges, and we are here to lend them support. We are waiting on some equipment, and we need to do some structural adjustments to treat with the prison service. Now, we are not about putting persons on the inside and leaving them there for no considerable period of time. So you realize that the government has passed, with support from us, the legislation for probation. Cannot leave people there sometimes. You know. There are some persons who made mistakes, and that must be recognized. That don't mean that you have to punish them totally for everything. But they too must show that they are interested in rehabilitation. All right, so that's the support that we are lending at this time. So the prison service structures and hope to get some vehicles for them. They have the allocation already to get some vehicles to them. And that's another institution that was left to basically fend for itself. What you see happening in the prison didn't start yesterday. What you see happening in the prison didn't start last week, nor did it start last year. This has been going on now for the past 8 years or more. And as a government, we cannot sit idly by and do nothing. There are some young men and women in the prison service with an impeccable amount of integrity, and we must protect those persons. The ODPM, well, the ODPM is a section where we have oversight too, and they are always ready. The ODPM was one of the first institutions that worked alongside the government of Trinidad and Tobago when Jamaica had the hurricane, and they continue to perform that duty. Excellent. I need to resource them a little more in terms of what they need and when they need it, so they can just not supply only Trinidad and Tobago in case of a disaster, but our colleagues on the outside. Yeah. Basically, I could go further into things. We also, up to this morning, we had a meeting in the United States Embassy, and we would have put together a memorandum of understanding in terms of cyber crime in Trinidad and Tobago. Cyber crime in Trinidad and Tobago was left like, you know what, they wouldn't come behind us, they didn't come after us, but that's not the case. Remember what happened with TSTT some years ago? So we have put mechanisms in place now with the support of our partners, United States of America and others, to have a team. It's a task force for the purpose of cybercrime. So in case of any eventuality, it would be treated with immediately. So the Ministry of Homeland Security is not sitting idly by and sleeping in Parliament and all of that. We're not about that. We're about getting the job done. We're about working for the people. Now, crime will always be a challenge. You cannot fix something that was destroyed over a period of time. And as the elderly would say, Rome wasn't built in a day. Some persons, when we came into office, they wanted things to happen now for now. But just like anything else, your home and your children and their attitude towards you would have been destroyed over a period of time. And now you have to do the reverse to fix it. And that is what we are doing. We are fixing the situation. Crime and criminality will not be accepted by this government. It's simple. We are not going to accept that. If you want to continue your trend, crime, there must be consequences. And the consequences must not always be borne by the taxpayers. And I say that eventually persons might have to fit their own bill when they commit crime. That's what we're looking at. So, the Ministry of Homeland Security, we are ready. We'll continue to work. We'll continue to provide these agencies. And coming to mind, I am applying for some drones for the police service. Why? We want to engage in something that is called a drone patrol in every division in Trinidad and Tobago, where we could send out the drones to pay attention to what is happening in our surroundings. And also that drone could be used to respond, to assist in responding to crime.
Well, that was Homeland Security Minister Roger Alexander as we continue to discuss the government's first year in office. We take a break, and when we come back, we chat with the National Trust about how you can properly interact with your heritage sites. The weekend is coming. Maybe that's something you'll think about. We'll give you all the information.
The time is now. Right now. Right now. Right now. Right now. Right now. No, not that. Right now. Right now. All I need is one night. We're gonna have to splurge on it. All I need is one night. I went deaf on it. No, not that. Right now. All I need is one night. We're gonna have to splurge on it. All I need is one night. I went deaf on it. This is the new day.
A new sound, a new style, a new style, a new class. Next 99.1 FM, the next level of radio.
Right now.
If it matters to you, it matters to us. We report the news, real stories in real time. TTT News, nightly at 7. TTT News, committed, accurate, relevant.
You are dearer to me than all the stars. So many wish but never reach. When I'm falling and all the world seems dark, you help me find my peace. Oh, shun mi ba fishani. Oh, shun mi ba yeah. Oh, shun mi ba fishani. Arubita. Yeah, 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 yeah,
Hi everybody, I am Leah.
And I'm Dion.
And we are
The Duncans.
Listen, we're here to tell you about a project the Lord has given to us called the Marriage Confessional. It is geared toward married couples, those that are on the road to marriage, and those that want to get married one day.
So join us on TTT and on Facebook and YouTube at TTT Live Online.
The Marriage Confessional, only on TTT.
As Trinidad and Tobago continues to develop, questions are being raised about how well are we really protecting the physical reminders of our past. The National Trust of Trinidad and Tobago has recently issued an advisory following reports of incidents with monuments, incidents that could damage irreplaceable heritage assets and pose safety risks. And with more than 400 sites and properties recorded across the country, the conversation now turns to awareness, responsibility, and the role that each of us actually play in preserving our national heritage for future generations. So joining us this morning are Graham Sweet, Interim CEO of the National Trust of Trinidad and Tobago, and Dr. Ryan Mohammed, Council Member of the National Trust. Good morning, gentlemen, and welcome.
Good morning. Thank you for having
And
us.
welcome back to you, Dr. Mohammed. So what prompted the National Trust to issue this recent advisory to the public?
Okay, so we received notice from our own coverage of or monitoring of social media of persons and actually interacting with things, these sites. And because it's heritage, these assets are pretty old and they've been exposed to the weathering and whatnot. They're not being maintained in a sense of their structural integrity. And so putting excessive loads on them runs a very serious risk that they could be damaged, and when they're damaged, they can't be replaced. And that it also puts a risk to the persons, so anyone interacting with it, that they themselves could be injured.
Yeah.
So the National Trust, our role is to protect heritage assets, the country's heritage assets, as a legacy for future generations. And therefore we want to avoid persons, anyone that can, any circumstance I should say, that could damage these things irreparably, and so that other generations won't be able to enjoy the opportunity to learn about them.
Now, the Trust also mentioned that some of the heritage assets may not be easily recognized. How can the public actually become more aware of these sites?
Okay, so firstly, via the National Trust website, we have on the website a compilation of the various heritage sites as well as the listed sites for Trinidad and Tobago. So one, you could browse the National Trust website or Facebook page, but also become a member of the Trust. And we offer free interviews, free discussions, lectures, etc. To the public. So there's that avenue for awareness and information to the public as well.
Now, through my research and even on the website, I came across something called listed property, and this is listed under the National Trust Act. Can you tell us what a listed property is?
Yeah, so a listed property would be a property that has some degree of protection. We have two types of listed properties. We have the properties that are graded numerically and alphabetically. The numerical and alphabetical grading is not a hierarchy. It is categories indicating what activities, what types of modifications can be made to a certain property, a property that is listed. So for a property to become listed, it is a process where you have to be on our heritage asset inventory first, and then a dossier is prepared either by someone in public or by a heritage officer of the National Trust. And this dossier, it basically indicates the historical as well as aspects of heritage and then this is approved by the council and the minister, and that's the process for it to become a listed property, and also it receives a grade, so that way the owners of the property understand how to do any sort of modifications or maintenance of the property.
So just a few seconds ago, we had on the screen a shot of what the website looks like as well. So you can see pictures there, so it's easily accessible, and I do admire that everything is well laid out on the site. So that means that information is easily accessible, so that people can actually go there and find out what's protected, what's not, and you will obviously know how to interact with these sites as well. Now, how does the trust manage monitoring and preserving over 400 heritage assets recorded, right? So that's a tremendous task.
Yes. So as I said before, the 400 assets, all of these assets, they're not owned by the trust. A large proportion of these assets, they are heritage assets, but they are owned by private entities. Some might be owned by the state, and they fall under the jurisdictions of various regional corporations, or by private owners. Then if you're on the heritage asset, it means that you have importance locally to a certain community or nationally. Usually, if it's important nationally, it graduates, it gets a upgraded level of significance to becoming a listed property. So the monitoring of the 400, that's probably, I want to say, the lowest level of the lowest tier of monitoring, because simply it isn't under our purview or protection. The listed properties, however, we have heritage officers, heritage preservation officers that do monthly checks, and now, as you said, that will be about 100 properties that we have to monitor, and they go through almost 2 or 3 per month to do both Trinidad and Tobago, to ensure that annually we at least touch on every.
That's a lot of work.
It is a lot.
Yeah. Mr. Sweet, my final question to you this morning is, what would you say to the public about these situations, and what should they do going forward?
Okay, so the trust works with a number of stakeholders throughout communities, and to extend to Ryan's point, they are our surrogate eyes and ears. So there are many organizations, NGOs within Trinidad and Tobago who help us monitor. They actually monetize the sites within their communities. So they have a vested interest in keeping an eye on them, protecting them. And so they kind of share our passion for protection, and we work with them. So we do tours every weekend to different parts of the country in collaboration with these community groups, and help bring more people into the communities to understand what aspects of heritage are being experienced there and how they can protect it and learn more from it.
Yeah. Well, thank you, gentlemen, very much. Head across to the National Trust website for all the information that you need. And please interact responsibly and safely with our heritage sites so that we can have it for a long time to come for future generations to enjoy as well. While we take a break, and when we come back, we have more special stuff for you today on Trinidad and Tobago Today.
The plays that shake the arenas. The stories that move a nation. From football to cricket, track to tennis, every win, every rivalry, every headline. This is where Trinidad and Tobago come for sports.
TTT Sports with Nasira Mohammed, daily at 7 p.m.
Hey, up for this exciting challenge and confident about your business? If you are, the 1020 feature is just what we need. It's where you give your customers 10 reasons in 20 seconds why they should shop by you. This fun-filled feature will be captured, packaged, and aired on television and promoted on social media simultaneously. Small, medium, and large businesses call or WhatsApp 764-3378 or 313-4215. Let's feature your business. 1020 with Junior K. It's affordable, effective, and fun.
Unleash your imagination with TTT's terrific Toon Time. Join us as we stop evil geniuses from taking over the world from Super Z. Or hop on board for a journey into outer space with Galaxy Kids. Be a part of our quest to save the forests alongside our robot pals from Bugs Bot Ignition. Or let's go exploring with Duda and Dada. Catch terrific Toon Time weekdays at 4:15 p.m. and Saturdays from 9 a.m. It's fun-filled adventure with terrific Toon Time right here on TTT.
Your stories, your communities, your country. TTT News is everywhere, on the ground, across Trinidad and Tobago, and on every smart device. TTT News, nightly at 7. TTT News, committed, accurate, relevant.
Hi everyone, I'm Marissa Benin. Coming up, Jamaica, here we come. These women of vision are on a mission. Ride the waves and savor the flavor, otherwise known as spending quality time in Antigua and Barbuda. Fun times, plus the food that sets St. Kitts and Nevis apart, all available under one roof. Cue the entertainment and the food. It's Chinese Spring Festival time.
Let's tap in now with Next 99.1 FM, where the energy is always high and the momentum never drops. This is the Link Up, and we're checking in to see how the shift is treating them and what's happening on their side right now.
You hear that? Woo! The new class. Next level of radio. Wake up! This is the Link Up with Next 99.1 FM.
Good morning, Fro and Shaq. Talk to us. What's the vibe today? And happy Friday to you.
Morning. I find Virmala, morning. I find when you come inside the morning show, it's not good morning, eh? It's morning.
Noted. Right? Every time. Okay, I'll enter. Let me try that again. Morning, guys.
Morning. Welcome to the morning show, Virmala.
Morning. Wow, that is a really good sound. A good drop, Shaq. That would make a really good drop.
Yes.
So how are you doing? How's the shift?
I am good. I am happy. It's Friday. I checked my bank account to see what's there. But despite whatever is there, I am still grateful to be here.
Yeah, I am grateful that you are here as well.
Yes.
Well, it is Friday, so that means that you have some special programming today to heat up things for the weekend. Tell us, what have you been talking about this morning?
Oh, okay. Well, based on what we're talking about, we were actually talking about pay, we were actually talking about pay, and how do you recognize when someone receives their salary? One thing, it's based on what they eat for lunch. True or false?
True. I agree with that.
Right? The day before pay, well, some folks would usually eat, the basic things, like you might eat a pie, you might eat some leftover food. But payday itself, let me tell you something here. It's chiller by a 4-piece, by a snack. It's all, and you even asking your coworkers. You're saying here this now. Wait for boy, I have you today. Virmala, I have you today. What you want? That is how you know when someone receives pay. True or false?
I agree. I would still opt for doubles. I would still tell you know what? I'll have a doubles.
But you
can't I'm not going to be one of those friends and ask for something extravagant.
No, well,
Virmala, you're wrong.
Well, that's you. Well, I'm telling you, that's you.
Virmala, you're wrong.
Shaq is saying you're wrong.
Yeah, you're
All
wrong.
right. Well, I'm just being kind because I don't want you to come and do the same thing to me next week.
Because that chance only come once in a lifetime, so you're wrong for that, especially from Fro.
You see how he like? I just told him there when he has an audience, he performs.
Well, guys, I want to wish you a really happy weekend. Please be safe in all that you do. Enjoy the rest of your shift. And I know that you keep the hits coming. So we'll be locking on in just a little bit when I get off here at 8 o'clock.
Thank you so much, Virmala. Enjoy your day. And for the folks at TDT right now, we say morning.
Thank you so much. Next 99.1 FM. That was the link up.
You hear that? The new class. Next level of radio. Wake up! This is the link up with Next 99.1 FM.
Well, a vestige of time past sits atop a mount overlooking the sea, serving a vastly different purpose today than it did during the British colonial era of Trinidad. Well, Carrie Roberts takes us on a journey through the pages of history as we explore Fort George for this installment of Right Here.
Seated on its lofty perch above the city of Port of Spain, Fort George was once a symbol of colonial power. The fort, located in the northwest of the capital, was originally established in 1804 under the direction of British Governor Major General Sir Thomas Hislop and built by enslaved Africans. While it was first dubbed La Vigie, it was later renamed in honor of Britain's King George III. Today, some remnants of the original fort, like the lower walls and several cannons, are still present at the site. But the main building was not constructed until 1883. It later served as a signal station that relayed ship traffic flag signals from the North Post Station at the northern extreme of Diego Martin to the Harbour Master's office in Port of Spain. This building was designed by Kofi Nti, an Asante prince, who was taken from West Africa by the British during a war between them and the Asantes between 1873 and 1874. He arrived in Trinidad in 1881. Having recently been reopened after extensive restoration work, it is a well-maintained facility. Its manicured lawns, park benches, each at points offering stunning views, strategically placed cannons set in array along the rampart, and even restrooms for the comfort of visitors. Speaking of visitors, the prison still stands, built into the hill, for those who were meant to have extended stays. This visitor expresses that he was prompted to visit to escape the humdrum of everyday life, but also added that he recognizes the deep historical significance of the site.
Knowing the history of the country and knowing that this was a strong point at one time, and you come to see something that you never see before, that may not be here, but it's here. So you come and you appreciate what was here and still present today.
Fit for purpose, Fort George provides a vantage point 340 meters above sea level, offering panoramic vistas in every direction. It would be impossible for enemy ships to hide their approach to the island in the face of the strategically positioned fortification. In times long past, when there were rumors of the war, Port of Spain merchants would store records, cash, and valuables at the fort. Although well positioned and equipped for the defense of the capital, and widely thought of as a near impregnable fortification, Fort George never experienced military action and was eventually decommissioned as a military site in 1846. It continued to operate as a signal station until 1964. We hope that it continues to serve its role as a historical site that we can visit in the times of peace we enjoy today. I'm Carrie Roberts, giving you a glimpse into the paradise we have right here.
This segment was brought to you by Caribbean Glass Specialists Limited, with over 65 years in business, delivering superior quality aluminium windows, doors and shower enclosures, along with complete glass and aluminium solutions for residential and commercial spaces, with supply and installation across Trinidad and Tobago and exports throughout the region. Craftsmanship you can trust.
Well, just about 5 minutes before 7 o'clock, just a reminder for you that the Airports Authority of Trinidad and Tobago has announced the postponement of the planned launch of its relocation initiative at the Piarco International Airport that was due this morning at 8 a.m. And they're also saying that the planned redirection of domestic passenger traffic to international checkpoints has also been postponed. So just a note for you, if you were looking forward to that this morning or you had some travel plans, please stay tuned. The authority will give you further updates. Well, if you're wondering what the weather is like today, we have an update on that for you now with Zena James.
Zena James here with your weather update. On Friday, expect a mix of sunshine and cloudiness, with showers developing by the afternoon and a medium chance for thunderstorm activity, especially over western areas of Trinidad. With lighter winds, showers could linger a bit longer, where temperatures could peak around 33 degrees. If you're in areas that experience heavier downpours, be mindful that gusty winds and street flooding are possible. Tobago can also expect isolated activity, but it will remain on the drier side with only a low chance of showers and temperatures near 31 degrees. At sea, conditions will remain slight to moderate, but gusts near showers could create choppy conditions, so exercise caution if you're heading out at sea.
Thank you so much, Zena, for that. Well, Carrie's up next with the news. We take a break, then get to that, then we come back with more inside the next hour of Trinidad and Tobago Today. Happy Friday.
Whatever the skies bring, stay prepared with TTT weather. Committed, accurate, relevant.
Hi everybody, I am Leah.
And I'm Dion.
And we are
The Duncans.
Listen, we're here to tell you about a project the Lord has given to us called the Marriage Confessional. It is geared toward married couples, those that are on the road to marriage, and those that want to get married one day.
So join us on TTT and on Facebook and YouTube at TTT Live Online.
The Marriage Confessional, only on TTT.
If it matters to you, it matters to us. We report the news. Real stories in real time. TTT News, nightly at 7. TTT News, committed, accurate, relevant.
I am your mother,
aunt, grandmother,
guardian, friend, and I promise to protect you in all situations because someone has hurt you, violated you, harmed you,
abused you,
and you were brave enough to tell me.
You trusted me. You came to me for help,
to defend, for support, to protect you.
No amount of money or bribes, favors, or gifts will stop me.
You are most important to me.
You are worth more to me than any material thing.
I will do all in my power,
in my heart,
to make sure that you are taken care of
and that justice is served and you thrive.
Together, my daughter,
my son,
my child,
we will live and love. I will protect you.
Break the silence. Report all cases of child sexual abuse.
Good morning. This is your TTT News Update. I'm Carrie Roberts. Making the news at this time. The National Payment and Innovation Company of Trinidad and Tobago is advancing government's digitization mandate with the launch of Citizen AI. Innovative Manager of NPICTT, Justin Lett, says it's the first AI solution in the Caribbean integrated into WhatsApp. It functions much like existing global platforms, but with a distinctly local focus.
Agent that sits in your WhatsApp that allows you to chat in the same way that you would do with any other AI solution. So think a local version of ChatGPT, a local version of Gemini, but it's able to be right there in your WhatsApp and you can chat in any way.
Citizen AI aims to address gaps in local research and development by providing insights grounded in Trinidad and Tobago, such as specific data, while also reflecting the broader Caribbean context. Minister of Planning, Economic Affairs and Development, Dr. Kennedy Swaratsing, challenged the perception that older citizens struggle to adapt to emerging technologies.
Disagree with the fact that people think that we shouldn't, or how will ordinary persons who may not be tech savvy access this? It's all there, and let's not do them a disservice. In my view, I think sometimes we underestimate people's desire to want to adopt some of these things.
Citizen AI represents part of NPICTT's broader push toward innovation, extending beyond its traditional role in digital payment solutions. In more news, the National Payments and Innovation Company of Trinidad and Tobago has announced the rollout of digital payment options for bus ticket purchases. The announcement was made by its payments manager, Dion Williams, who outlined the initial phase of implementation.
Come tomorrow, terminals will be deployed for the sale of tickets for the deluxe coach in the initial phase, and then on a continued basis for a deepening of bus tickets becoming available, both via web and point of sale.
Also highlighted the success of the platform during Carnival season at Flavor Village, where vendors embraced cashless transactions.
We are happy to report that over 40 of them transacted just about $250,000 in a 5-week period. We consider this a success because, again, these are persons who the average sale is $40, $50. This is no small accomplishment, and we are extremely proud.
By these results, NPICTT said the initiative forms part of broader efforts to move Trinidad and Tobago towards a more cashless economy. And in some sport now, Trinidad and Tobago sprinter Shaniqua Bascom delivered a standout performance at the Velocity Fest 19 in Kingston, Jamaica, clocking a personal best in both the 100-meter and 200-meter events. Bascom stormed to victory in the 200-meter with a time of 22.68 seconds, placing her 23rd in the 2026 World Outdoor Performance standing.
The joy that I felt after when I found out that it was 22.68, I felt like, okay, I am back. I am better than before. No injuries could stop me now. I am going to prevent all injuries as possible. And God just have his timing and have his way of setting up everything. So I couldn't believe it. I still can't believe it, but yeah, I've been putting in the work to work.
Well done, Shaniqua. Well, that's what's making the news at this time. When we come back, it's our number 2 of Trinidad and Tobago Today.
Women are a quiet strength the world leans on, the hands that holds everything together, and the heart that keeps on giving, even when they're tired. And it's time for us to celebrate that. I'm Yashamani, your host of Majestic Makeover, the series which uplifts and transforms the lives of everyday women who've carried so much for so long. In this season, we're looking for women like these, women who have endured, women who survived, women who keep on going, no matter what. A woman who's lost a loved one and finds the strength to go on. A survivor of crime who refused to be broken. A woman over 70 who gives to her family and the community every single day. A survivor of serious illness who continues to live with hope and courage. A physically challenged woman living fully with dignity and determination. These are the stories we want to honor. Do you know her? Nominate her. Let's celebrate her. Send us 2 brief paragraphs which briefly states who she is, your relationship to her, and why she deserves this journey. As well, send us your contact information. Send it to majesticmakeovertt@gmail.com. Because remember, every woman needs to feel majestic. Majestic Makeover Season 3, right here on TTT.
Every client deserves expertise, integrity, and guidance they can trust. At Camino Realty International, we deliver integrated real estate solutions, sales, rentals, property management, and project development. Driven by excellence, transparency, and innovation, we protect value, create opportunity, and build lasting success. Because real estate isn't just about buildings. For more information on our services, log on to CaminoRealty.com or follow us on social media at Camino Realty TT. Camino Realty International, elevating lives one property at a time.
Kids, speak up against abuse.
It is not acceptable for you to be abused in any manner.
From your parents, family members, or peers.
You have the right
to refuse
the abuse.
Report it to anyone.
Guidance counselors,
doctors, teachers, or even your neighbors.
Anyone who can help.
Speak up
against abuse. Speak up. Speak up.
Speak up.
Speak up.
Break the silence. Child abuse is one secret you should never keep.
Welcome now to hour number 2 of Trinidad and Tobago Today. It's a beautiful Friday, lovely weather, lots of traffic. So please be safe on the nation's roads if you're heading to school, heading to work, wherever you're going. Maybe you have a day off today. Always so happy to have you. To all our viewers on Facebook and also YouTube, thank you for being here. And if you didn't know, we are streaming on YouTube and Facebook every single day, Monday to Friday, 6 to 8. Also, a very special viewer is with us this morning. Her name is Wendy Ramroach, I believe. So good morning to you, Wendy. Thank you for always watching. We do have a few of our regulars always checking in with us on Facebook as well. I believe one of them, her name is Tara. So we always get your comments, Tara. Thank you for being here. And also VJ is somewhere in the world, I believe in Europe, and he always sends us some really lovely emails. If you want to email us as well, you can do that. That's tttoday@ttt.co.tt, and tell us, how are you enjoying the show so far? Also, very happy birthday to my Aunt Diane. We love you so much, and very soon you'll be able to send us your birthday greetings, so stay tuned for that. Well, this morning, as we continue to talk about government's first year in office, we will be joined shortly by Dr. Rudal Munilal, Minister of Energy and Energy Industries, as we discuss everything happening in the energy sphere, and of course the progress that is expected to be made in the coming months into years. Now, some of that progress is reflected in Touchstone Exploration, and they have announced successful drilling results from the Carapal Ridge 3 well in Trinidad and Tobago and highlighted its significant hydrocarbon potential.
In a media statement on January 5th, Touchstone Exploration Incorporated reported the successful drilling results of the Carpal Ridge 3 well in Trinidad and Tobago, highlighting significant hydrocarbon potential. This is an onshore development well located in the central block near Princestown. According to the company's drilling results and well details, the Carpal Ridge 3 well is the first drilled in 17 years in the Carpal Ridge pool. The well encountered approximately 1,082 feet of net sand, including 1,000 feet of net Harara sand. Open hole logging and drilling data confirm hydrocarbon-bearing sands throughout the Harara interval, with a thick pay zone identified across multiple horizons. Completion operations are in progress, with plans to tie the well into the Central Block natural gas processing facility by the first quarter of 2026. The well's results indicate a potential for 3 additional Harara development wells on the Central Block and the establishment of a new gas-charged play in the Karamat Formation. Drilled to a total depth of 8,200 feet over 35 days, CR3 was approximately 25% over budget due to challenges which were encountered managing natural gas flows from the Karamat sands. The well was designed to target both developed and unproduced Harara sands, with initial production planned from the lower horizontal section. The successful execution of CR3 confirms the seismic model and the extent of the Harara section, enhancing future drilling prospects. Chief Executive Officer of Touchstone, Paul Bay, has emphasized the well's significance for increasing natural gas sales and the potential for future development in the area. Touchstone holds 65% operating interest in the well. I am Terry Ann Brown Campbell, and this is Evolving Energy.
And also, thank you so much to Tarianne Campbell for all her good work in the energy industry. And of course, she is on site this morning, helping us with getting some stories and doing some really, really good work. Well, we continue this morning. One of the biggest developments in the Trinidad and Tobago energy sector is in the return of ExxonMobil through a production sharing contract for the ultra deepwater TTUD-1. In this edition of Evolving Energy from Tarianne, former President of the Geological Society of Trinidad and Tobago, Javid Razak, explores the current state of the project.
In August 2025, ExxonMobil signed a production sharing contract with the Trinidad and Tobago government for the company to explore for oil and gas in marine acreage northeast of Trinidad. Energy analyst, former president of the Geological Society of Trinidad and Tobago, Javid Razak, highlighted some key aspects of the project.
And they combined those 7 blocks into one large block called the UD1, Ultra Deep 1. So the first phase of that is a seismic survey that they're going to do, a 3D seismic survey. Normally, that would take probably a year or more after signing to start. And we're actually going to start, that survey is actually going to start in February.
Earlier in January, Shearwater Geoservices, a global marine geoscience and technology company, was awarded the contract to acquire the deep water survey.
It's really, I think, a record for a seismic survey of this size in this ultra deep area to get, at that stage so quickly. So that vessel comes in February. The acquisition will take around 6 months. That data is really to figure out, are there prospects that make sense to drill? So when that data is acquired, they're probably going to need to analyze that for more than a year, about a year or so, maybe more. And then Exxon will drill their first well in Trinidad in that ultra-deep acreage.
Mr. Razak emphasized the importance of ExxonMobil's regional operations to the Trinidad and Tobago project.
That first well will be critical to figure out did they find, is there anything there? Based on that data, they'll decide if they want to drill more. And if they are lucky, like they have been in Guyana, and if we are lucky as a country, they will find a large oil field out there, right? This area is totally unexplored, so it's quite virgin territory. So a lot of unknowns out there. So but Exxon has been one of the best explorers in the world for several years now, and we've seen what they've done right next door. So we're very hopeful for Trinidad and Tobago to find some big discoveries out there.
Shearwater's high-capacity vessel, Amazon Warrior, will undertake the seismic survey operations in Trinidad and Tobago's waters.
This is basically a vessel that is moving, that is pulling acquisition streamers, and they have to basically survey the entire marine acreage that the block lies on. So for a survey of this size, yes, that's typical, quite typical. But we have not had many large surveys like this before. I think we've only probably had 1 or 2 that have been larger than this.
Mr. Razak explained that ExxonMobil will be operating in waters which range from 2,000 to 3,000 meters, or between 6,560 feet to 9,840 feet. I am Terry Ann Brown Campbell, and this is Evolving Energy.
Well, you can see all of these Evolving Energy episodes on TTT Live Online, as well as everything that you see here on the show. Head across to TTT Live Online. And also, if you have a story idea, a press release, you want to collaborate with us, we'd really love to hear from you. So you can contact us today at tttoday@ttt.co.tt. And you know it, be part of the conversation that's shaping our nation. Trinidad and Tobago Today, all the news you can trust and the stories that matter. We take a short break and come back.
From all over Trinidad and Tobago, Anil wrapping roti at lightning fast speed.
Sandra nailing every order in her hardware.
Lisa, who is in sync with style. There is no buffering at her boutique.
And Dr. Alex filling prescriptions with care. They're all part of the 5,000 strong businesses connected and growing with reliable, high-speed service from Amplia.
Now it's your turn.
Because with Amplia,
you're in good company. Amplia Business.
Hey, up for this exciting challenge and confident about your business? If you are, the 10-20 feature is just what you do. It's where you give your customers 10 reasons in 20 seconds why they should shop by you. This fun-filled feature will be captured, packaged, and aired on television and promoted on social media simultaneously. Small, medium, and large businesses call or WhatsApp 764-3378 or 313-4215. Let's feature your business. 1020 with Junior K. It's affordable, effective, and fun.
Hi everybody, I am Leah.
And I'm Dion.
And we are
the Duncans.
Listen, we're here to tell you about a project the Lord has given to us called the Marriage Confessional. It is geared toward married couples, those that are on the road to marriage, and those that want to get married one day.
So join us on TTT and on Facebook and YouTube at TTT Live Online.
The Marriage Confessional, only on TTT.
The time is now. Right now. Right now. Right now. Right now. Right now. No, not that. Right now.
All I need is one night. We're gonna have to splurge on it. All I need is one night. I went deaf on it.
No, not that. Right now.
All I need is one night. We're gonna have to splurge on it. All I need is one night. I went deaf on it.
This is the new day.
A new sound, a new style, a new style, a new class. Next 99.1 FM, the next level of radio.
Right now.
Trinidad and Tobago's deep water prospects has been described as the next frontier for the local energy sector by local energy experts and the National Gas Company. Well, in this episode of Evolving Energy, it explores the possibilities of that new threshold with energy expert and former president of the Geological Society of Trinidad and Tobago, once again, Javid Razak.
Largely untapped, Trinidad and Tobago's deepwater province represents a new chapter for TNT's energy sector. Energy expert and former president of the Geological Society of Trinidad and Tobago, Javid Razak, explores one potential prospect.
From around 2017 to around 2019, BHP Billiton at the time would have been drilling in the deep water acreage, very close to Tobago, blocks 23A and 14. They drilled quite a few wells out there. They had a few gas discoveries, and they called the project Calypso. That is a few different discoveries put together.
Mr. Razak took a moment to quantify the gas, which could be found in this particular reservoir.
Those fields have about 3.5 TCF of gas, which is pretty large. It's about the same size as Dragon Gas, yeah. And then BHP was sold to Woodside Energy a year or two ago, and this Woodside shares that block with BP. So Woodside is the majority partner, BP is the minority partner.
3.5 trillion cubic feet of natural gas would power every home and industry in Trinidad and Tobago for about 3 to 4 years.
We've been hoping for a final investment decision from them to say that they're going forward with the development and that they're going to actually drill and then produce that gas. We have not heard any definitive decision yet from them. We've just heard that the discussions continue. So very hopeful that in 2026 that will actually happen. It'll be a discussion between Woodside, BP and our government.
Mr. Razak noted that should that decision come this year, it will take at least 5 to 6 years to get first gas from this field.
So this would be our first ever deep water project, yeah? And why I say that amount of time, that's typically the time frame we see in Guyana for their deep water projects. There's a lot of, you have to drill quite a few wells. You have to have a lot of subsea engineering done and a lot of equipment put in on the sea floor. You have to build probably a pipeline that goes to shore, or if you're not building a pipeline, you have to build a floating production vessel.
The local energy expert noted that it would take billions of US dollars in investment to bring this project to fruition. I am Terry-Ann Brown Campbell, and this is Evolving Energy.
Thank you so much, Terry-Ann Campbell. While we take a break, and when we come back, we have Dr. Munilal getting ready to join us.
Every client deserves expertise, integrity, and guidance they can trust. At Camino Realty International, we deliver integrated real estate solutions, sales, rentals, property management, and project development. Driven by excellence, transparency, and innovation, we protect value, create opportunity, and build lasting success. Because real estate isn't just about buildings. For more information on our services, log on to CaminoRealty.com or follow us on social media at Camino Realty TT. Camino Realty International, elevating lives one property at a time.
There are a number of risk factors for heart disease, so a lot of attention has to be put towards preventive cardiology. What can we do to reduce the burden Due to all these risk factors, hypertension, diabetes, cholesterol, you need to stop cigarette smoking, you gotta get people exercising.
Be viewing Caribbean Medical TV on this station.
Your news, anytime, anywhere. TTT News brings you the facts that matter most, on air and online. TTT News, nightly at 7. TTT News, committed, accurate, relevant.
Well, this morning we continue our special series examining the government's first day in office, and now we turn to one of the most critical sectors driving Trinidad and Tobago's economy over the energy sector, that is. Over the past 12 months, there's been a renewed focus on stabilizing production, restoring investor confidence, and unlocking new opportunities for growth through strategic partnerships and major energy projects. Well, this morning we are joined now by Minister of Energy and Energy Industries, Dr. Rudal Munilal, as we take a closer look at the progress made so far. But actually, Dr. Munilal is not in studio with us. The TTT Limited crew is bringing you a live connection with Dr. Munilal, and he is somewhere very special this morning that he'll be telling us about. Good morning, Minister.
Hi, good morning to you, and good morning to all your viewers, listeners, online followers in Trinidad and Tobago and across the region. Yes, we are this morning at the Point Lisas Industrial Development Estate at Portside, where it's a very special evening last night and this morning. We are here live, of course. I just want to begin by thanking the Honorable Jolene John, Minister of Works and Infrastructure, the leadership, executive management of the DECO, and the workers, of course, who are here this morning participating. Since last night, there has been a massive and dramatic activity at this port, and we want to thank them for facilitating our presence this morning. What has happened is that Touchstone Exploration, a major energy company operating in Trinidad and Tobago, this morning and early into the last evening, they have brought in at this port extremely heavy equipment and sophisticated equipment arrived the last evening for major installations at Rio Claro, Cascadura gas facility in Rio Claro. Those extremely large, heavy equipment came in as part of a gas compression production facility that they are expanding at the field. We are now seeing the loading of some of the equipment at Point Lisas, and that's what we came this morning. We were invited from last night, but of course we preferred not to sleep on the port. So we came this morning to see some activity here as they load to transport heavy equipment to Rio Claro, the Cascadura gas facility. This is the latest investment by Touchstone that includes the large-scale equipment, components incidentally exceeding 50 feet in length and over 15 feet in height. It has been transported from Houston by another major local, and I underline local logistics company, Ramps, and we want to congratulate Ramps as well for their part in this activity and other activities in the sector. Our presence this morning underscores our commitment to international operators interested investing in Trinidad and Tobago. We give great support to ensure that this happens in a timely manner. And that's why we were here this morning. I just want to state, because it dovetails into what we are talking about this morning, that this pipeline is from Beach to Guayari. It's a 20-inch pipeline operated by NGC from Beach Guaya to Point Lisas Industrial Estate, and there's a tie-in for this project. What has happened is over the years, because of fluctuations in pressure and so on, they have not been able to extract maximum gas production. So I don't want to be too complicated, but what the equipment does, and this massive importation of heavy equipment out of Houston, what it does, it stabilizes pressure in the pipeline so that over a period of time, we actually produce more gas. So this is really a gas expansion initiative, moving from what I'm told to be 10 million standard cubic feet to almost 20 million. So it's almost 100% increase in gas expansion from Touchstone alone. And I thought this morning that we will come here to look at some of the equipment in the background. I believe it is moving now. I hope it's not moving too close to me, but it is moving, and I'm assured by the health and safety people here that it is safe for us to be here and we are in a safe zone. But that is part of the equipment that is on the move behind me. This will boost the rate of producing wells, which are, as I said, currently affected by large differentials in line pressure. So we are extremely pleased. We want to congratulate Touchstone for this compression project that will allow operational stability and long-term benefits. This is expected to be online in June 2026. So that I begin this morning with a live operation in the energy sector, really to make a dramatic statement that this is a sector on the move. And one company late last night into this morning, they are now going to take, you're seeing some footage of last night offloading and so on. They are now on the move with police, with other security forces to move from Cuba to Rio Claro, which is a massive procession. We want to apologize for the inconvenience on the roads that some motorists will face in the coming hours, but this equipment is important to double gas production at the Cascadura gas facility. Apart from that, Virmala, as you know, in the sector in the last 12 months, we have had a turnaround. We have had a turnaround in terms of production. We have stabilized, NGC has stabilized gas, the production of gas, the aggregate and supply of gas, so to speak, in the last 11 years or so. We have been below par in terms of gas production, and oil production has declined. We can now confirm that we have increased oil production from roughly 52,000 barrels to about 55,000 barrels, and that is a significant increase. We have stabilized the gas production. NGC was able to pay, as you recall, over $158 million in dividends, which was paid to their shareholders. We have an exciting project called Manatee Plus, which is in tandem with Shell, where we have been able to increase gas production, I believe, by 10 to what could be 20%. So these are the exciting news. Apart from that, I think you are aware that ExxonMobil returned to Trinidad and Tobago in August 2025 for a massive exploration activity on the northeast coast of Trinidad. And I'm happy to reveal that they are now undertaking the largest seismic acquisition of data that has ever been done in Trinidad and Tobago territory. And we're extremely pleased with that. We are informed that almost 60% of that work has finished. And indeed, we would like to ensure that that finishes in good time by, let's say, August 2026. And we will get some news by September, hopefully, on that ExxonMobil project. But we are very optimistic in a quiet way. We are optimistic about that project coming on stream. And of course, there are lots more I'll report as we move along.
Minister, when you entered office 1 year ago, what was your first mandate for yourself? What did you set out to achieve when you entered office?
When we entered office, the Prime Minister gave us a mandate to increase gas and oil production, which is the primary feedstock for petrochemical sector for the Atlantic LNG global facility. And we have been doing that. We have been, in less than 1 year, increased production by 5.5%. We have stabilized gas production, as I've said, and several projects, I can name out about 11 projects that will incrementally increase the production of gas and the supply of gas. As you know, the last government, with all the talk and with all the hot wind, left us in a situation where we had gas curtailment, where we had to, farm out almost gas to the downstreamers in the Point Lisa estates and so on. And we are addressing that. That is a mandate. The other mandate is to work in this new era of regional energy cooperation and collaboration with our energy partners, primarily in Suriname and Guyana. And I think the country has seen a reawakening of the relationship between the energy sector in Trinidad and Tobago, Suriname, and Guyana with the recent visit of Excellency Mohammed Irfan Ali and their commitment to Trinidad and Tobago and our collaboration. That is taking many forms, and some exciting news will come forward on that. There's a Suriname Energy Festival, Energy Week coming up, and we expect some more interaction with the government and people of Suriname at that time. So that was our immediate mandate, but we also had to clean up certain areas, particularly in NGC and other state enterprises where we have had waste, corruption, mismanagement. As you know, NGC was infamous for throwing away $200 million into buying equipment for, I think, Train 1 at Point Fortin, and then having to literally throw away $200 million in equipment. They also bought equipment for Beachfield, I believe, and between Beachfield and NGC Point Fortin, where they were making an investment actually to Train 1, only to be told by the partners down there that they were not invested in Train 1. I think the NGC lost hundreds of millions of dollars there and hundreds of millions of dollars in spare parts for a facility on the southern coast in the Guaya area. So we had to rectify that, and the board and management of NGC has been working tirelessly to ensure that we return to profit, which we now have declared an enormous profit, the highest profit in 11 years of $3.2 billion at the NGC under the United National Congress. So that has been our early mandate, but we continue. The work is not stopping, of course. We have several issues to put on the table. As you know, we have approved an energy hub. This is a sector where, as everyone knows, we often say as a sort of cliche, time is money. In this sector, time is literally money, because we can lose up to 120 million United States dollars if decisions are not taken in a timely manner. It is a sector like that. And we have now established the Energy Accelerator Hub, which is getting positive reviews across the world, energy industries in the world, where we have brought together all the agencies to fast-track decisions and approvals and licenses in the energy sector. And I want to take this opportunity to congratulate, first, we will congratulate others, but first, the Environmental Management Authority, led by Chairman Ramlal and others there, who have been really in the leadership of the Energy Accelerator Hub and ensuring that CECs and other relevant documents are provided to the energy companies in real time. They have been doing that, and we are extremely pleased with the response to the Energy Accelerator Hub by the EMA and other departments as well, the Town Country Planning Work Permit Committee. In fact, the companies are now shocked by the speed at which we receive work permits given the Accelerator Hub and its work. We are now putting together what is called a dashboard to promote jobs. As you know, the Prime Minister has given us a strong mandate. And tomorrow, incidentally, at our major congress to be held at Hoover, beginning at 1 p.m., major congress there, the Prime Minister will deliver the speaker address And at that feature address, there will be many features, but one we believe will be on an entire speech, an entire segment dealing with jobs. And on that matter, we're excited to hear what the Prime Minister has to say. We want to invite all of Trinidad and Tobago to get to Cuba tomorrow in good time. There'll be a lot of traffic and so on. Get there to hear speakers, but the future speaker, the Honorable Kamala Prasad-Bissessar, who will address this issue of jobs. And I can say from the energy sector, we are now working on a dashboard where we will want to publicize much more the jobs that are being created, particularly in the private sector, because jobs are being created now. We get a little poster here and they're telling us about 20 jobs here, 20 jobs, 10 jobs, but it's not integrated. And we want to integrate that and make a dashboard that all qualified citizens could look at. So that's something that we are speaking about at this time and putting in place. So there's a lot of excitement taking place in the region, in Trinidad and Tobago. I can tell you as well, we have altered the policy to deal with what is called mature maritime fields, where we have actually given certain incentives to those companies that will work on exploration and production in mature fields. They are given an incentive approved by Cabinet to ensure that we get back to work, as we say in Trinidad and Tobago. We want to keep it pumping.
All right, Minister, you've advanced cross-border gas projects, particularly the Dragon field. So let's talk about that now. What's the current status and how confident are you about the timelines and, all these discussions that you've been having about Dragon? They're also positive.
Well, what I can say is that throughout a very difficult period last year, the Honorable Kamala Prasad-Bissessar maintained an enormous degree of tenacity and courage, and she was extremely steadfast when other leaders were weak, when other major players in our sector and elsewhere showed, a weak back, less than strong spinal cord. Mrs. Prasad-Bissessar stood her ground, and she remained strong. And worked with the United States as a major ally to ensure that there were changes in neighboring Venezuela and so on. And I can confirm now that our cross-border fields with Venezuela, primarily Burkina and Loran, we are well on the way to concluding agreements and discussions in terms of the exploration and production of gas from those fields. The across-border field is called Dragon, as you know, and Dragon is a major project which we have never given up on. While we were critical of the PNM's handling of that project, we never gave up on that. And when we came into office, the Prime Minister mandated us to work with the United States to ensure that we get an OFAC license. And the Prime Minister herself did actually cross the T, dot the I's for our applications for an OFAC license, and we were extremely pleased late last year to receive OFAC license to continue discussions, negotiations vis-a-vis Dragon. And the Dragon project is on the way. We are now in discussions with our partners to ensure that we bring up the timeline somewhat, given the start and stop experience we have had last year over some of the political and conflict-related issues. So the Dragon is on the way. Loran, Burkina, we are talking to our partners. We expect it's a work in progress. We expect in a few days, a few weeks or so, that we will be in Venezuela with a diplomatic mission discussing not only energy, but I imagine other issues as well in other sectors with other relevant officials. And we are working very, very hard because those cross-border and across-the-border gas fields also has an enormous impact on our energy security as we go forward. So that is something we are proud of in our first year, to have stabilized the situation revolving around those three major gas fields. The numbers are there for persons to check it, but we need to get to 3.5 billion or so. We are PNM left us at 2.4 billion, and the interventions of those across the border and cross-border, we expect to be up to about 3.3 billion, almost maximum optimal capacity for all our production facilities at the industrial estates and at Atlantic LNG.
Well, Dr. Manulal, we take a short break, and when we come back, we continue this discussion. So we're so happy that you're having this with us, especially as we wrap up this first week of just talking about the government's first year in office. So stay tuned, a short break, and we come back.
Ever wondered what happens before the lights come on? Before the crowd pours in? Before the magic hits the stage? This is your all-access pass. Sneak Peek with Junior K takes you behind the scenes of the biggest cultural moments and the hottest events across TNT. From the sound checks to the stage setups, from final rehearsals to exclusive interviews. If it's about to be big, we're already there. Catch Sneak Peek airing daily on TTT and relive every moment on all our social media platforms. Sneak Peek with Junior K, where the story starts before the spotlight.
Your world moves fast, so do we. TTT News brings you the people, events, and issues that matter most. Stay informed, stay ahead. TTT News, every night at 7. TTT News, committed, accurate, relevant.
This morning by Dr. Rudal Munilal, Energy and Energy Industries Minister, and he's currently off-site right now. And Dr. Munilal, continue our conversation. I have to get to this point. I want to turn now to the refinery. So there have been ongoing discussions about restarting operations. How close are we in this process?
Well, what I can say is, something related to the refinery before I get there. One of our major achievements in the last 10 months or so, and I'm extremely proud but extremely sad that we had to. Prime Minister Kamla Persad-Bissessar distributed checks to the relatives, the surviving relatives of the victims of that horrific pipeline accident of a few years ago at Pointe-à-Pierre, South Trinidad, where, as you know, lives were lost. And the last administration pussyfoot on this matter for several months and did nothing. It was left to Mrs. Persad-Bissessar to present at that time 3 checks of $1 million each to the 3 legal representatives of the families of the deceased persons, the victims, and we were extremely sad. That's a sad thing to participate in, but we're extremely pleased that we were able to do that within 1 year. And that is it's very significant for those families and so on. I can say that we have had expressions of interest. We have had talks with entities throughout the Caribbean and across the globe. Quite recently in Washington, we have had discussions with officials of the Republic of Nigeria and other places as well on the refinery upstart. We're extremely optimistic. In Africa, incidentally, there have been several refineries that have had restart, some even longer than 7 years have been down. And we were excited to learn of some of the West African developments. We are in talks with several entities concerning both operationalizing commercial structure and, of course, financing. And we are coming to the end of that period now, and very soon the Cabinet and the Prime Minister will be involved in the government to take some decisions as we go forward. I prefer not to speak at length on that because I can't prejudice discussion of the Cabinet of Trinidad and Tobago. But we are coming very soon now to some key decisions on that matter, and we are very happy with the interest, and we are happy with a scenario where, of course, the taxpayer will not have to expend any significant amount of capital investment, but we can get that from the international private sector, from the investing community, and of course we can have a reputable world-class operator to work with our labor force here, labor force from Trinidad, local content, and restart that refinery. So we're excited with that.
Minister, before we get ready to wrap very soon, as I have you here, I must ask you about today's front page headline about that increase in fare from Caribbean Airlines. Can you talk about that for us this morning?
What I can say is that I've also, of course, taken note of it, but I want to state categorically, and I'm authorized to state categorically, that this headline is misleading, it is incorrect, it is wrong. The government of Trinidad and Tobago, the cabinet of Trinidad and Tobago, has taken no such decision. The cabinet of Trinidad and Tobago has not discussed that matter. The cabinet has not taken any decision on that matter. It is certainly not government policy. It may be the view of the relevant minister involved, but that is not government policy. It is not a determination from the Cabinet of the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago, so that it cannot and will not stand. And I just wanted to eradicate from the minds of citizens in Tobago and Trinidad that that headline is incorrect, is inaccurate. It is, for us, very disturbing that it is the headline, but it is not the view of the government of Trinidad and Tobago. It is not the policy of the government or the cabinet chaired by the Honorable Tamla Prasad Bissessa, and we distance ourselves from that headline and the implications of that. So I will state that categorically this morning, that that headline does not represent the view and the policy of the government of Trinidad and Tobago, and we hope that the mischief makers afloat, and they know who they are in the opposition and elsewhere, that those mischief makers and doomsday people and so on with their agents around will not use that to really go in the mud and play in the mud. While we have all the good news coming up, while this country has been saved, has been rescued, while we talk about a massive program of real job creation, we will hear about real jobs, productive jobs, long-term jobs. When we are dealing with that, when in every sector we have given out land, while in every sector we have been able to provide more water, light up recreation grounds and so on, that for years have been in darkness, to support culture and so on, and we'll hear much more about that. It is of course not my purview to speak too much to areas outside of the energy sector, which I hope I've done justice to this morning. So to answer your question, no, nada. It is not the policy of the government of Trinidad and Tobago.
Thank you for clarifying that for us this morning, Minister. Now, finally, based on the momentum you've outlined for us this morning, what can we realistically expect to see from the energy sector over the next 12 months?
In the next 12 months, we expect oil production will increase again by hopefully 5,000 to 7,000 barrels of oil per day. We also expect that we will have an expansion in gas availability in the next year, and certainly with the Manatee project is on the move in terms of its construction side, so that we expect that will be a big lift for the sector. The very development I spoke to you about, the Cascadura gas field, where I'm here reminding you at Point Lisa, where we have just uploaded enormous heavy equipment.
Unfortunately, we have some technical difficulties now with that connection with Dr. Munilal, but I do believe that he was explaining that touchstone exploration is really marking that key milestone. As he mentioned when we began the interview, it is the commissioning phase of the booster compressor at the Cascadura facility. And Cascadura is one of the newer gas-producing sites in Trinidad, and it's already contributing to increased output with wells like the Carapal Ridge 3, and that is now online. So the addition of this compressor, just so you know, it is important because it will help to stabilize production and really improve gas flow, allowing for more consistent and reliable supply to the national system. I want to say thank you very much to the Minister for joining us this morning. That was Dr. Rudal Munilal, Energy and Energy Industries Minister, joining us to unpack the government's first year in office. as we continue this morning, it is a beautiful and bright, sunshiny Friday, just about 5 minutes before 8 o'clock. Well, maybe this weekend you would decide to take a little drive around Trinidad, and I don't know, maybe if you're in Tobago, you can do the same thing. But if you are in Trinidad and you are interested in maybe heading somewhere new this weekend that you haven't been before, and if that place happens to be Point Fortin, well, let me get you ready. Do you know your country? Well, we're going to teach you. We're continuing to feature Point Fortin, its history, its rich heritage, its culture and community significance as the borough celebrates its 46th anniversary. Point Fortin was built community by community. Here we have it now.
Point Fortin is built community by community and holds stories that most of us pass by. Clifton Hills stands as one of the earliest planned areas. Originally, cocoa, coconut, and sugar occupied the lands. Later, it would be home to senior oil company staff with its great houses. Then there's Mahaika, from agriculture to housing middle-class oilfield workers to the sporting heart of Point Fortin. The historic oval, now the Mahaika Sporting Complex, is where talent is shaped and displayed for all to see. Tisha Village tells the story of the working class. It was specifically built to house hourly and weekly oilfield workers. Capdeville carries a warrior spirit. At one time, a coastal port and wartime defense zone where watchtowers stood guard over the oil fields and the community learned to stand strong. But the legacy of resistance lives in New Village. Once known as Strikers Village, founded by followers of Tubal Uriah Buzz Butler in the 1940s as they fought for land, housing, and a future of their own. Piece by piece, Point Fortin came together. And these are some of the communities that reflects its evolution from agriculture to oil to a people shaping their own identity. Each village a chapter, each resident part of the story. History lives in places we pass every day, and right here in Point Fortin, the story continues. So take a moment, look a little closer, because there's always more to discover down in the borough.
"46 years of Point Fortin." Well, whatever you're doing this weekend, please be safe. Thank you so much to everyone who makes the show possible every single day, Monday to Friday, 6 to 8. Well, we see you on Monday where we do this all over again from 6 to 8 again. Carrie's up next with the major network news. Have a beautiful weekend. Be safe and see you then. Bye-bye.
Hello everyone, I'm Pastor Lisa Singh from Heavenly Grace Ministries in New York, and I want to take this opportunity to invite you to join me right here every Sunday morning at 6:30 a.m. It has been a fantastic 2026 so far, and the Word of God has just been unraveling in ways that we can only imagine. So I don't want you to miss out. Remember, every Sunday morning, 6:30 a.m. right here. Looking forward to being with you.
You are dearer to me than all the stars. So many wish but never reach. 'Cause when I'm falling and all the world seems dark, you help me find my peace. Oh, shun mi ba fishani. Oh, shun mi ba.
Your world moves fast, so do we. TTT News brings you the people, events, and issues that matter most. Stay informed, stay ahead. TTT News, every night at 7. TTT News, committed, accurate, relevant.
Hi everyone, I'm Marissa Benin. Coming up, Jamaica, here we come. These women of vision are on a mission. Ride the waves and savor the flavor, otherwise known as spending quality time in Antigua and Barbuda. Fun times, plus the food that sets St. Kitts and Nevis apart, all available under one roof. Cue the entertainment and the food. It's Chinese Spring Festival time.
Good morning, this is your TTT News Update. I'm Carrie Roberts. Making the news at this time. Reflecting on the past year, Minister of Homeland Security Roger Alexander said significant progress has been made, with many long-standing issues now addressed. However, he noted that school violence remains a persistent and evolving challenge, one that continues to require sustained attention and intervention.
So we have the school-oriented police. There are a number of schools around Trinidad and Tobago, but it doesn't stop there. I'm using PAXO, a unit, part of my institutions. They're in charge of the transit police. They are working with a number of stakeholders at this time. And some of the initiatives that we have is already the behaviors of young men in society. And what we are doing recently here, the parental symposium. And as of Wednesday, the 22nd, myself and the team, we are going to return to schools.
The minister said work in the area of cybercrime is ongoing, noting that local authorities are collaborating with their counterparts in the United States to achieve more comprehensive and wide-ranging results. He added that the strategic use of modern technology is a key component of the government's forward-thinking approach, aimed at properly equipping and resourcing the armed forces to effectively confront and combat today's increasingly sophisticated criminals.
I'm applying for some drones for the police service. Why? We want to engage in something that is called a drone patrol in every division in Trinidad and Tobago, where we could send out the drones to pay attention to what is happening in our surroundings. And also that drone could be used to respond, to assist in responding to crime.
Minister Alexander emphasized that the Ministry of Homeland Security is functioning effectively, casting a wide and strategic net to address not only conventional forms of criminal activity, but also the full spectrum of modern crime, including emerging and non-traditional threats. In other news, the Water and Sewerage Authority is stepping up public education on water conservation through an interactive two-day symposium for hundreds of students from across the country, taking place at its head office in St. Joseph. Speaking to TTT News at the launch of the National Water and Utilities Youth Symposium, WASA's Chief Executive Officer, Dane Maharaj, said the initiative forms part of the utilities dry season strategy.
Water conservation is very important. As you know, we have a very limited supply of fresh water in our reserves, not that of salt water or ocean water. But fresh water, it makes up roughly like about 1% of the Earth's water that we have, that we can utilize. So the drive really is to let the kids understand the importance of conserving the water.
Mr. Maharaj acknowledged that while production can be limited, WASA is working to reduce losses and improve supply through targeted leak repairs.
We have started a drive where we can now try to reduce our leakage index. Look at our heavy leaks. We were able in the Point Lisas area. That leak was there since 2020 by reports of persons from the Deco area reporting that there are about 6 million gallons of water a day that we are able to now repair those leaks, and now we are able to save that 6 million gallons of water and share it around communities that had a shorter supply in those particular areas.
Students also receive practical guidance on disaster preparedness, weather alerts, and warning systems. In sport, The Trinidad and Tobago Powerlifting Federation has named a 5-member team set to compete at the IPF World Classic Open Powerlifting Championships in Lithuania, set to take place from June 13th to 21st. The event will see first-time appearances for the #1 ranked female powerlifter in TNT, Kezia Hunt, along with 4th ranked Desiree J. Allen. Also on the women's side, Zara Padilla, no stranger to the event, claiming first place